Caleb Taylor. Alex Lewis outside. Josh Sargent's in there. And Edison again quick off his line. That would have been a certain goal. Welcome to Season 6 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on EAFC 24. We've come a long way since our humble beginnings as a lowly one-star League 2 club, and we're about to embark on our second consecutive season in the Premier League. It was touch and go last season, but we did just manage to secure our place in the top flight in the last episode of the season. Who else but the big red machine, Josh Sargent, scoring against Sheffield United to get the crucial last few points that we needed. The board want us to press on this year, and I'm right there with them. They've set us the target of finishing mid-table, which I think is reasonable based on the quality of our squad. And I think we should even be aiming for European football in the not-too-distant future. Speaking of the quality of our squad, we made a couple of big signings in the summer. Patrick Pfeiffer signed from Stuttgart to strengthen our back line. Denzel Dumfries returns for another loan spell. And we're hoping James McAtee can be the creative maestro that our midfield has been lacking for so long. Going to be a tough season though, and it doesn't get much tougher than hosting Man City on the opening day of the season. This is the way we'll line up against the defending champions. Debuts for Pfeiffer and McAtee. Cartwright shifts over to make room. Dumfries returns on the right and Sargent starts up front, hoping to better his tally of 19 goals from last year. So without further ado, Redmont Arena awaits. Let's get into the action. So a big game to start our season here. Season 2 in the Premier League. Season 6 in the series as a whole, and it's Manchester City, reigning, I believe, back-to-back champions to begin the season here. So it's going to be a really tough test. We're going to need our new signings to step up. Denzel Dumfries at right back, Patrick Pfeiffer at centre back, and already it's a foul here from Denzel Dumfries. Patrick Pfeiffer forcing Jesse Cartwright over to the left-hand side. Not a move that I was particularly eager to make, but bringing somebody in who's as physically imposing as Jesse Cartwright, I am happy enough to make that move. He is a little bit slower than Cartwright as well. Good feet from James McAtee to hold on to the ball there, and he spreads it wide to Barley Mumba. Just overhits the pass a little, and it does run out of play. Good to start the season at Redmont Arena as well. Gives us a little bit more of a chance to get something out of this game. Good intervention there from Christian Caceres. Just muscled off the ball though by the Man City man. Big season for Alex Petit this year as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of interest in Alex Petit come January, so I think we're probably going to have to make a big decision about whether we hold on to him or whether we do accept a big money offer and try and reinvest that money into the squad. We'll have to see how we're doing in January and see if we feel like we need to hang on to Alex Petit or whether we do need to strengthen in other areas. Good strength from Josh Sargent, wins a free kick. We're going to need him to do that multiple times today. James McAtee, an influential player today as well, playing against his old club, of course, in Manchester City, and we're going to need him to pull the strings in midfield. Caleb Taylor up to his old tricks, giving the ball away unnecessarily. He loves an unforced error, Caleb Taylor, and Erling Haaland already is galloping in behind. Good challenge from Patrick Pfeiffer, though. Comes across to deal with it. James McAtee on the ball, surrounded by 4 Man City players, though. Not a Redmont man in sight, but that's a bad challenge from the Man City defender. It's going to be a booking early for Alejandro Balde. Looks like potentially a youth academy product. And James McAtee wins the free kick. Not quite far enough into Manchester City territory to put one into the box, I don't think. Patrick Pfeiffer tries to lift one in, and we could be within range this time. James McAtee, the man with the ball in his hands. And he will place it down to lift it into the box here. We're going to aim to chip the ball just into the path of Josh Sargent there. It's way over hit. Way over hit. Edison collects comfortably. And he clears away to the left-hand side here. The Manchester City right. And it's a nice ball in behind. For Mazraoui to chase. Barlimumba sends him inside. Christian Caceres there. Good block from Jesse Cartwright, and Bobek can just collect that. Nice and easy. Good defending from Redmont Rangers early here. We're going to have to be at our best defensively today if we are going to get anything out of the game. Going to need to defend well and then just kind of, you know, pray that something can go our way when we do get the ball in the Manchester City final third. Potentially a set piece, potentially just a lucky bounce here or there. We need something to go our way. And we need to defend almost impeccably, I would imagine. Erling Haaland. Denzel Dumfries takes away that inside option, sends him into the corner. Erling Haaland dangerous from anywhere on the field, but if we can get him in the corner, that's going to be where he's at least somewhat neutered. Denzel Dumfries struggling to win the ball back here. Caleb Taylor comes across. Dumfries again can't put in the challenge. Kovacic with the ball at his feet. Back heel to Erling Haaland. Great save from Bobek. Just clear. Just clear. I'm absolutely spamming B. Clear the ball. Clear the ball. Great save from Bobek there, but Denzel Dumfries just needs to get rid. Jesse Cartwright intercepts, and he does manage to get rid of the ball. I think we're going to drop back into our defensive formation already in this game. Approaching the 20-minute mark, we have done well to absorb the Manchester City pressures so far. We haven't been able to get the ball up the field at all yet. Oh, and Alex Petit beaten on that right-hand side. Caceres comes across. Patrick Pfeiffer's there. James McAtee in central midfield as well, trying to make a nuisance of himself. Kovacic on the ball, the captain for Manchester City today. Good challenge from Caceres. He just stumbles as Kovacic comes away with the ball there, though. Manchester City continuing to apply the pressure. They're just enjoying possession at the moment, though. They're not being overly direct with their approach just yet in the game. Again, almost a good challenge from Caceres there, but he is just beaten. Denzel Dumfries comes away with it. We could have an option here on the right-hand side with Alex Petit. This is exactly what we need, a quick break. Josh Sargent in the box. Run across the near post, but he can't get there. Alex Petit picks up the ball once more. Again, Josh Sargent. It falls to James McAtee on the edge. Big save from Edison. James McAtee, the ex-Manchester City man, almost breaks the deadlock there. Hit the shot almost straight at Edison there, though, and he made a strong save. Patrick Pfeiffer with the ball at his feet. Potentially we can just enjoy a little bit of possession here now. We haven't really had our feet on the ball almost at all yet today. But we do get an opportunity just to settle a little bit, just to calm the game down, just to slow the Manchester City momentum slightly. Just working it across the back line. Denzel Dumfries twisting and turning. Can't find an option forward though, so Caleb Taylor just switches the play. Jesse Cartwright, Barlimumba, Ismail Assar's in behind. Not quite enough on the pass there, but Ismail Assar does well to bring it down. He's just going to toss the ball into the box. James McAtee there. He's brought down in the area. Nothing doing, says the referee. Edison punched the ball away, went to ground once he had done so. And James McAtee stumbled over Edison's fallen body. No penalty though. Not sure how I feel about that one. Good feet from Alex Petit. Finds Josh Sargent. Tries to lay it off to Christian Caceres, who'd made a good run. The pass was just behind him though. Positive play from Redmont here though. Erling Haaland finds Jack Grealish on the left. Denzel Dumfries is there. Christian Caceres once more in a good defensive position, as is James McAtee. Alex Petit in the area as well. Denzel Dumfries in a 2-on-1 now on this left-hand side. And it's cut back inside to Jack Grealish. Denzel Dumfries now out of position. Puts in a good challenge though. Patient defending from Denzel Dumfries. And Alex Petit can come away with it. Just stumbles. Tried to beat the man one-on-one, but got his feet caught underneath him. Good interception from Caceres. Ismail Assar almost gives the ball away. Bali Mumba on this left-hand side. Ismail Assar with the run in behind. He has pace, Ismail Assar. Does collect the ball. Cuts inside onto his right foot. Tries a finesse shot from the edge of the penalty area. Good save from Edison. But this is good passage of play for Redmont Rangers. We've had the better opportunities in the last 10 minutes or so. It's going to be James McAtee to put the ball in. An in-swinger with his left foot. There's Patrick Pfeiffer. Punched clear by Edison. Ismail Assar recycles to James McAtee. Patrick Pfeiffer is still in there. Christian Caceres on the edge of the box. And his left-footed strike goes just wide. 10 minutes to go until half-time. It's been a fairly even first half. I think we've given a good account of ourselves, particularly in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. Hopefully that can continue until the break at the very least. Alex Petit just drops back to double team Erling Haaland there. It's been a good performance from Alex Petit so far. I think we need a big season from him this year. Good intervention from Dumfries. Does go out for a Manchester City throw though. We could do with another big year from Josh Sargent as well. He was our top goal scorer last season. 4th top goal scorer in the entire Premier League with 19 goals. As the Manchester City man is caught offside. And if we are going to kick on this year, if we are going to progress and finish more in a mid-table position this year, I think we're going to need just as many goals from Josh Sargent. Dangerous play from Jesse Cartwright there. He does eventually win the ball back in clear, but he lingered on the ball far too long there. It's the first time really that we've invited any real pressure as Chelsea sign Dayot Upamecano from Real Madrid, interestingly enough. So Chelsea strengthening their back line. Denzel Dumfries on this right-hand side. A good bit of space for him here, and he's got space enough to cross. That's too easy for Edison to collect, though. Josh Sargent needed to be making more of a nuisance of himself there. Too easy for the Manchester City goalkeeper. Christian Caceres with another good intervention. Bali Mumba is free on this left-hand side. Ismail Assar finds him. Josh Sargent in the box this time. Cleared by the Manchester City man. Caleb Taylor's going to pick it up. Alex Petit doesn't read the pass. It was a little too narrow there. Caleb Taylor expecting him to take up more of a wide position to cross. Bad challenge from Denzel Dumfries. That's almost certainly going to be a booking when play next stops. Bali Mumba again in space. Alex Petit on that right-hand side though. Christian Caceres overhits the pass. And it is going to be a booking for Denzel Dumfries. It was a bad challenge. Certainly worthy of a yellow card, that one. The ball had long gone and he lunged in on Jack Grealish. No stranger to a bit of a reckless or overly robust challenge, Jack Grealish. So into stoppage time now. Just 2 minutes to go until half-time, and it is still 0-0. If we can hang on just for these next couple of minutes, I would certainly be happy with a 0-0 at half-time. Manchester City trying to change that though. Ismail Assar puts a stop to it. Forces Man City back into their own half initially, but persistence on this right-hand side. An equal amount of persistence from Bali Mumba though, and he just hooks the ball clear, and it will be 0-0 at half-time. Redmont Rangers given a good account of ourselves, especially in the second half of that opening period. Slowed out the offers for Erling Haaland, I would certainly agree. He's had 19 touches, but he's done pretty much nothing with them. So let's hopefully continue that into the second half here at Redmont Arena. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory Career Mode. If you're enjoying the video, please take a second to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. There's going to be plenty more realistic content like this to come in 2024, and every little bit of engagement helps to grow the channel and bring these videos to more and more viewers. Drop a comment too. Let me know what you thought of today's game, who our man of the match was, or really just any feedback you have about the series. I always love to hear from you guys, and I've got some great ideas about how to get you more involved going forward. But that's enough rambling from me. Let's get back to the action. So a big second half here. 0-0 at half-time. You would imagine Man City are going to start to push to take the lead in this game if it remains 0-0 for much longer. So we're certainly going to have to continue to defend well and try and just make the most of the offensive opportunities when they come. Balimumba on this left-hand side. We found a bit of joy on the left-hand side with Balimumba and Ismail Assar. Christian Caceres too slow on the ball. He has to release that. He has to release it. We had plays over on that right-hand side if he could have switched the play, but instead Man City steal the ball back. James McAtee out of position defensively there. Balimumba comes across on the left-hand side. Ismail Assar back in his defensive position. Christian Caceres beaten by Xavi Simons. Erling Haaland finds Kovacic, the captain. It's a strike from range and it's a bad one. Bobek watches it go over his bar. Not a good effort. Erling Haaland pressing high here. He always looks so terrifying when he sprints. He just moves so quickly, and that running motion is just so... it's almost alien. Ismail Assar. Good feet. Can't beat his man inside, though. We had Josh Sargent in the box if Ismail Assar could have found space to cross there. He couldn't quite dig out the cross. Manchester City again come away with it. Denzel Dumfries on a yellow card. I think it might be an appearance from Josh Key before too long in this second half. We certainly don't want to lose Denzel Dumfries to a sending off. We're going to need all 11 men if we are going to get anything from this game. Christian Caceres loses the ball again in midfield. Jesse Cartwright steps up, can't quite make the interception, but does force the ball back to the Man City defence. Balimumba read that perfectly and cut it out. James McAtee in space in central midfield here, and Jesse Cartwright finds him superbly. James McAtee skips away from the Man City man, but Denzel Dumfries just wasn't quite high enough up in support there. Alex Petit almost stealing the ball away as well. The Redmont Rangers fans are loving this performance so far. It's not been a particularly exciting one, but it's been a good, professional, robust performance here against arguably the best team in world football. Christian Caceres can't make the challenge. James McAtee is there. Denzel Dumfries needs to stop the cross. Instead, he allows Jack Grealish inside. That's the worst possible option. Good tackle from Caleb Taylor. Man City get the bounce, though. Alexander Bobek with an amazing save. Patrick Pfeiffer slid across to try and make the block. Instead, the ball did find its way towards the Redmont Rangers goal, but it's an incredible reaction save from Alexander Bobek that keeps the scores level. Denzel Dumfries can't clear. Patrick Pfeiffer can. Josh Sargent wins the ball off the Man City defence, and he could be in behind here. It's not the paciest striker, Josh Sargent. Does manage to cut inside, though. Does get a shot off as well, and it's wide. Josh Sargent had to do it all on his own there. Couldn't quite manage it. And I think it's going to be time to make a change. It's going to be Denzel Dumfries to come off. Josh Key is going to come on. Dumfries the better player, but we just can't risk him on that yellow card. And I think we're going to bring Max Webber on. We're not going to make the change yet. We're going to bring Max Webber on for James McAtee at some point, but not just yet. It's just going to be the single change for now. Denzel Dumfries off. Josh Key on. Likely an appearance from Samson Tavide at some point in the second half here as well, as Josh Sargent continues to tire. Alex Petit wasteful in possession there. I imagine Alex Lewis as well is going to be a man who does make an appearance off the bench for Redmont to make his full debut here for the first team. Good defending from Josh Key early. That's what he struggled with last season. He was always good going forward, but defensively he was a liability. That's why we brought Denzel Dumfries back for another year. If he can defend like that, though, especially against the likes of Man City, potentially he will play a bit more of a role than we expected this year. Ismail Assar gets beaten. Second effort wins the ball back, but gives it straight back to Man City. And again, they bring the pressure here on the right-hand side. Balimumba Does well to intervene. Just clears away to Ismail Assar on this left-hand side, and he's got some pace about him. Far more pace than Josh Sargent, that's for certain. Couple of Man City defenders in the area. Ismail Assar just cuts inside. Christian Caceres. There's James McAtee. Lifts it in towards Josh Sargent. Nice little scooped pass from the new Redmont Rangers man, but Man City were back and in a good defensive position. Jesse Cartwright isolated here on the left-hand side of defence, but that's one of the reasons we pushed him out. He's got the pace to keep up with wingers. And I think it's going to be an offside here. It is. We're going to make a couple more changes here along with Manchester City by the looks of it. James McAtee is going to come off for Max Webber. And Alex Lewis is going to come on here on the right-hand side for Alex Petit. So a double change. Samson Tavida, I believe, is going to be part of our final round of changes as Phil Foden comes on for Manchester City here. So an additional threat for Manchester City down the wing. Not sure if he's on the left or on the right here today. Looks as though he's going to be setting up on the right-hand side for Manchester City. Caleb Taylor, Josh Key. Caleb Taylor once more, and Patrick Pfeiffer, the new man in the centre of defence. Jesse Cartwright out to Barley Mumba. He's got some space to run into. Max Webber's taken up a good position, as has Ismail Assar. Ismail Assar again cuts inside, spreads it wide to Alex Lewis. Beaten to it by the Manchester City defender. So two defensive midfielders here for Redmont Rangers now, just to try and see this game out to a draw. Josh Key again one-on-one with Jack Grealish. And he does well there, as does Alex Lewis. Alex Lewis has made a run in this right-hand side. Josh Sargent has found him. Alex Lewis, I believe, is onside. Just cuts inside, tries to find Max Webber there, and Ederson just clears. We had two players over. Ismail Assar was in acres of space, but just couldn't quite find him. Another change here for Manchester City as Rodri comes on. About 20 minutes left in this second half. Ismail Assar with the ball at his feet. Just spreads it wide to Josh Key. Alex Lewis in a bit of space up ahead. Josh Key clips it into Christian Caceres. Couldn't quite bring the ball under control to put a cross in. Max Webber, good challenge. Christian Caceres pressing high up the field now. Ismail Assar. He's putting a good shift today, Ismail Assar. Has been back and forward, up and down that left-hand side for Redmont today. He's done as much defensively as he has going forward. That's not something you'd often say about Ismail Assar, but really buying into the programme and the system here that Hans Newman has employed for Redmont. Really good run from Alex Lewis, and what a ball that is from Caleb Taylor. Just runs through to Ederson, but that looked dangerous for a moment. Jesse Cartwright challenges Erling Haaland. Doesn't win it, but it does fall to Ismail Assar. Jesse Cartwright's in a nice little position there. He is being chased down by a couple of Man City players, though. Patrick Pfeiffer. Caleb Taylor has to be careful here. He's prone to giving the ball away and has almost done it again there. Josh Key into Caleb Taylor. Christian Caceres. Nice little turn. Alex Lewis. What a great run. Again, the ball just runs through to Ederson. So close there to opening up the Man City defence. Jesse Cartwright again allows the ball to run through, and it just falls to Patrick Pfeiffer. Barley Mumba back to Jesse Cartwright. Patrick Pfeiffer's in some space, as is Josh Key on the right-hand side. Spread nicely across to Josh Key from Patrick Pfeiffer. And this is what we know Josh Key is able to do. Puts in the cross. Josh Sargent can't beat Ederson to the ball. He's been quick off his line, Ederson, today, as he so often is. Patrick Pfeiffer absolutely murdered by Erling Haaland in the air there. We brought him in for his aerial prowess, for his size and his physical imposition, but nobody is physically imposing next to Erling Haaland. He's just an absolute robot. Josh Sargent, good press. Forces Manchester City into a mistake. Max Webber sets away Ismail Assar. Ismail Assar back into Max Webber. Josh Key in some space on the right-hand side. Alex Lewis making a good run. Max Webber just keeps hold of it. Can't find an option here. The option eventually is Alex Lewis. Here's Josh Sargent. Again, we can't find space to get a shot off. Christian Caceres with the ball now. Almost loses out to the Manchester City defender. Caleb Taylor. Alex Lewis outside. Josh Sargent's in there. And Ederson, again, quick off his line. That would have been a certain goal. Ederson had to get that right because it was a wide open goal in behind him. Josh Sargent waiting to just knock it in with his head. But again, Ederson off his line quickly to make the grab. Caleb Taylor far too high up the pitch. He needs to get back in position here. Why he's pressing that high, I don't know. Manchester City with Erling Haaland trying to break the deadlock here late in the game. Just a couple of minutes to go, plus stoppage time. I don't imagine there will be a great deal of stoppage time either. Not too many stoppages in the game. No injuries. No real, free kick or penalty scenarios to work through. Jesse Cartwright's going to have to defend well here. He allows Xavi Simons through. Alexander Bobek equal to the shot at the near post. It wasn't great defender from Jesse Cartwright on that occasion. He's usually so reliable defensively. And Manchester City could be caught up the field here. Alex Lewis trying to run in behind. Christian Caceres on the edge of the box. He's going to strike from range with his left foot. It's off a Man City defender and collected comfortably by Ederson. Up the field for one last attack of the game potentially. And it's going to go the other way. Ismail Assar beats his man outside. If we can find Josh Sargent in the box here, it's actually going to be Alex Lewis at the back post. Brings it down. Right foot strike. What a save by Ederson. That could have been 3 points against Man City on the opening day of the season. But Ederson is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he's shown it there. What a save that was. Alex Lewis almost breaking the deadlock on his Redmont Rangers debut against Manchester City, the reigning champions no less. Josh Sargent, ball at his feet. Christian Caceres strikes towards goal, again blocked by the Manchester City defender. And it is the full-time whistle. It's going to be a draw at Redmont Arena. Certainly would have taken that before the game. But I can't help but feel as if we've had the better opportunities in that one. Alex Lewis at the end there, I think that was the single best opportunity of the entire game for either team. Really good performance from Redmont. We had a tough opening 20-25 minutes, but after that we really settled in to the game. Really found our feet. Kept our shape and defended well. And it's a well-earned point here at Redmont Rangers to begin Season 6. So, decent start to the episode, but still 2 games to get to, including first a trip to the City Ground to take on Nottingham Forest. This is how we'll line up. Josh Key coming in for Denzel Dumfries and Samson Tavide coming in for Josh Sargent up front. Strong lineup for Nottingham Forest as well. Badia Shiel and Dizassi in central defence. Briel and Bolo up front alongside Jared Bowen as well. And we get another decent result here, a 1-1 draw away from home. Jared Bowen scoring for Nottingham Forest. But James McAtee getting his first goal for Redmont Rangers in the second half to come away with a point, which leaves just a game against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup to round out the episode. A heavily rotated 11 for this one. Joe Lumley making his debut. Arthur Armstrong coming into defence alongside Kenji Yamada also making his debut. Max Webber and Matthew Garbutt in midfield. And then a front 3 today of Brendan Clark, Dane Scarlett and Alex Lewis, the Youth Academy product. Alex Lowry plays against his old club for Crystal Palace. Doesn't seem to make much of a difference, but Crystal Palace do run out 3-1 winners regardless. So a couple of draws leaves us in 12th place here in the Premier League. And although it's early days, Manchester United have ran out to a lead at the top of the table, whilst Everton, Coventry and West Ham round out the teams in the relegation zone. So 3 more games to get to in the next episode, beginning with a game against Aston Villa at home in the league. We do also have the closure of the summer transfer window to navigate through in the next episode. So let me know what you want me to do in the comments down below. We will also be travelling to Selhurst Park to take on Crystal Palace, and we will be hosting Manchester United at Redmont Arena. That's it for today's episode of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode. Make sure you subscribe if you are new, drop a like, leave a comment if you are not, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy.